make his skin go off for once. Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you my everyday makeup routine. Okay, so starting out with this dark circle serum and this vitamin C and collagen face cream by Skin 2.0 to hydrate. This combo leaves my skin feeling juicy. Alright, then I'm going to fill in my eyebrows with this eyebrow pencil. And then I'm going to carve out my eyebrows with this concealer. And I'm going to be using this small angled brush. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe off the excess. Okay, so right here what I'm basically doing is I'm starting off at the corner of my eyebrows and I'm just drawing a straight line and curving up at the arch. Okay, and I'm just going to buff that out a little bit, and y'all do not mind my breakout. Alright, so next I'm taking this concealer brush, and basically what I'm doing is making sure that that line doesn't look too harsh, so I'm just doing my best to blend it out. I am going to be putting concealer on my eyelids, so don't worry about this part too much, just make sure that it's not too harsh. Alright, so here I'm putting the concealer on my eyelids, and I do this because I have really dark eyelids and it's kind of hard for my eyeshadow to show up if I don't do this step. And then I'm going to take that concealer brush from before and just blending that out. Alright, so now I'm using this Real Techniques concealer sponge to absorb any excess product on my eyelids. Alright, so now I'm taking this eyeshadow brush. And this palette, and I know you guys, this palette has survived war, but I just refuse to let it go. So now I'm just taking that and I'm just blending it all over my eyelid, going in a circular motion. And then I'm going to take this angled brush and I'm just going to pick up a little bit more product. And I'm just going to dust it all over my eyelid. I'm going to be sure to take it up to my eyebrows, not all the way up, but pretty up there. Now I'm taking this Beauty Treats eyeshadow palette, and you guys, this eyeshadow palette is so pretty in person. Like, the shimmer is just chef's kiss. Alright, so before I apply that on my eyelids, first I'm going to be applying some concealer on my eyelid. And the reason I do this is just to prevent some fallout. So throughout the day my eyeshadow stays on my eyelid and it doesn't get all over like my under eyes or on my eyelashes and stuff. Now, one thing I do want to say is that you do have to be careful with the amount of product that you apply on your eyelid, excuse me, because if you do apply too much, you will end up looking cakey, and the concealer and the eyeshadow will just mix and just look clumpy. So you do want to be careful. And I'm so sorry, you guys, I didn't realize I was off frame for a second, but basically what I did was I just applied that eyeshadow. Alright, so now I'm going to do my eyeliner, and I went ahead and did that off camera, and I'm going to put on my lashes. And something I will say that's very important about putting on your lashes is making sure that your glue is tacky and not completely wet. And the reason I say this is because if you put on your lashes and your glue is still wet, you will make a huge mess on your eyelid. Okay, so here I'm basically just speeding up the process. Alright, so next I'm going to be doing my foundation, and I'm using this Fit Me foundation by Maybelline in the shade 310. So what I do is I basically pour out some in the back of my hand, and whatever excess I have left over, I just kind of scoop it back into the bottle. And I will say, I really wish this foundation had a pump. I think it would just be a total game changer. Alright, so now I'm just dabbing that foundation on the back of my hand. And I did forget to prep my face. I did moisturize and add a serum, but however, I just think that when you prep your face, your foundation just looks way better and it won't settle into your fine lines and creases. It just gives you a more flawless look. So I put about that much. Now I will say this foundation is a little light on me, however once it oxidizes I do think that it gives me a more natural tone. It does look like skin. I do love that foundation for that. It's not too cakey and it's very buildable.
From the carousel gate, dull cries reach the hem of your coat. You balance the lantern string lightly, like a promise left afloat. Out there, roller coaster timbers kept the shore in its old frame. But one turn of your head revives the whole thing just the same. Salt on the piano, keep your play, where the pilings knock and lanterns fray. If the noon gulls claim the water and the dunes forget our feet.
Alright, so next I'm taking my concealer, the same one from earlier that I used to carve out my eyebrows, and basically what I'm doing is I'm just putting it all over my under eyes, on the bridge of my nose, on the ends of my nose. And I am pretty heavy-handed with my concealer just because I don't get a lot of sleep, and I do feel like it just brightens up my under eyes so well. So then I'm taking this Real Techniques sponge, the concealer one, and I'm just going to dab that all over. And I'm starting on the ends and moving my way outward, up and towards my ears. Alright, and here's a closer look of what I'm doing. I'm basically dabbing. It does look like I'm going pretty hard and fast on the other one, but it is sped up. But in reality, I am being very gentle.
The pilings knock and lanterns fray. If the noon gulls claim the water and the dunes forget our feet, leave your night thoughts under every beat.
Alright, so next I'm taking this LA Girl Velvet bronzer, and I love this bronzer. It is so creamy and buttery, like it just melts onto your skin, and it's not hard to blend out. You can literally blend this out with a brush. Like it is so smooth. And basically what I do is I just put it above my cheekbones, on my forehead, on my temples, on my nose. And basically what I do is I really love that button nose look, so I will go under and above and then on the sides of my nose.
The breakwater has the look of somewhere closing for the year in June.
Right now I'm using this Real Techniques number 204 brush, and I'm just going to be blending in my bronzer. And something I love about this bronzer is that it's very glowy. The formula is so smooth. You guys, like, it's so glowy. And I just think it's perfect for the summer. It gives you that perfect sun-kissed glow without it looking like too harsh of a contour, and it just adds the perfect amount of color back into your face.
Let the last chord stare. Just enough dark to keep you. If the floorboards, railings, curtains, or the time
Right here I'm just showing you the motions that I use to blend out my bronzer. It's just very soft touches. It's nothing dragging, it's not pulling, it's just very light. And I really make sure to get into that hairline. You don't want the separation of the difference between your scalp and your forehead, so you really want to kind of blend it into your hairline. Right, next I'm taking this Velvet blush from LA Girl. It's the same brand and it's the same formula, so it's very smooth, very buttery. Like, I really love these products. And they don't feel cakey on the skin. You would think that they do because I apply a lot of product, but they are so light. You barely feel like you have anything on. And I just think that's perfect, especially for right now. It's July, so when you go outside, you don't want to feel like you're wearing a full face of makeup, but you do want to kind of look like you are. Alright, so now moving on to my nose contour. I'm just very lightly dabbing the sides of my nose, and I do like a very snatched nose look, so I will be applying 2 bronzers to this look.
the jetty still looks borrowed from a quieter decade in the lamp fleck spray. You held the sea glass dreams away. Some people hold their breath
Alright, so now I'm using my second bronzer to snatch my nose, and I'm just going in a small little dots, kind of like a connect the line type of thing going on, because I feel like if you draw the line and it comes out crooked, you will literally make your nose look wonky. Alright, so I just do the sides of my nose, the bottom, and the top. In nose contour, there's a very fine line between looking very obvious in person. You just really want to make sure that you're blending out correctly.
Grandest rooms fall flat at one wrong word. This one stayed alive because it knew what not to say.
Alright, so now I'm using this fair toned loose powder by Maybelline, and I'm just gonna blow off the excess, and I'm just going to apply it under my eyes and basically anywhere where I'm prone to creasing. I know baking isn't really popular anymore, but I just think it still makes my makeup last way longer.
A little lower on the breath, a little truer in the eye.
Alright, so the reason I'm using such a light under eye powder is because I like the cast that it leaves behind. It just leaves me looking like I have a highlight on my nose, kind of like a Morticia Adams thing going on. And I just think it makes you look a little more awake, especially if you have really dark under eyes like I do.
The porter type cashier or usher calls us back to ground.
Alright, so now I'm going on the sides of my nose, and the reason I just skipped over my nose piercing is because I just got my nose pierced. I know I should not be wearing makeup, but I don't know. Sorry. Alright, so the reason I'm hitting my powder cap like that is because the powder inside gets compressed whenever I put my powder on. So this is just to keep it loose and keep the product from becoming too sticky or clumping the powder together onto my face.
The candy apple glow kept a shine on the shoreline cafe after 10. You moved the wet cardigan from pond to pond.
Alright, now I'm taking this Real Techniques 206 brush and I'm just going to bronze my face.
The
I'm just gonna tap the excess off. And I'm just gonna go on my forehead, on my cheekbones, my temples, my nose, just everywhere, just to give my face like I'm alive, basically. Just give it some color and give it a sun-kissed type of glow. Alright, so now I'm just going to do my nose, and basically I'm just adding bronzer on all the high points of my face where the light would naturally hit it, and that those parts would naturally be more tan than the rest of my face. And then I'm creating a type of shadow with this bronzer to make it appear like my nose is more snatched than it actually is. Alright, so now I'm taking this powder brush and I'm using to dust off my beak. So just under my cheeks, on my chin, under my eyes. Alright, and after I'm done with that, I'm just gonna spray myself with the LA Girl Pro Perfect. And you guys, I suck at voiceovers. I have done like 50 of these, so let me know in the comments how I did, because I was super nervous. And yeah. Alright, so now I'm just doing my highlight, and yes, I still use a fan brush. I know it's 2026, but I still apply highlighter this way. I don't know, that's just me. And I think I put a little bit too much on, so I'm gonna go over with my Real Techniques to try to mute it down a bit. Alright, and now I'm just putting highlighter on the tip of my nose and on the bridge of my nose. Alright, now I'm just wiping off my lips, just taking off all the concealer, foundation, everything like that. And you guys, I do not have a lip combo. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw some lip gloss on and call it a day. Maybe you guys can recommend me some good lip combos, because all of the ones I see on TikTok, they just don't really work for me or my skin tone. So yeah. Alright, if you guys made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate every single one of you. And this is the final look.